cut back.
Right.
How much feedback do they give you guys about all this intel they have now between the GPS and the hydration and you know, I know that in the past he's done sleep monitoring and stuff like that. How much feedback are you guys getting as far as performance and looking forward and adjusting as needed, stuff like that?
A lot of it's just advice. You know, they just tell us what we should be doing, and from there we kind of just take it and, you know, we have to apply it ourselves. So as you guys see, we have a hydration period. So that's a really big thing that they've been focusing on, is just getting our electrolytes in and recovering so that we can make it through a full practice without being extremely tired or cramping up. A lot of guys haven't been cramping up, so I think that we've made a lot of progress in that.
The hydration period, have you ever had anything like that before in football?
I know in San Bernardino we did, where we'd have like these electrolyte popsicles, but never in spring ball. So I think this is something moving forward that we're probably going to focus on a lot, just trying to implement it during practice at some point.
When you have a hydration period, is it drinking like electrolyte laced water, or what?
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, it's just the powder you put in water, mix it up, shake it up, and drink that. So we'll just have a bunch of them in a big tub, and everyone's got to drink at least one.
How far into practice will you have that period?
It's usually pretty early. I would say maybe 30, 45 minutes in.
Okay.
So it just takes us through the rest of the practice.
You noticed any difference?
Like I said, I haven't really noticed a lot of guys cramping up. Even myself, I haven't feel like I've been cramping up, so I think it's definitely helped.
What about the precision fit helmets that you guys have this year? Is that new, and have you noticed any difference from that?
I don't even wear one, so I can't really speak about that. I've been wearing the same helmet for the last 2 years now. I'm fine. I'm comfortable in the one I'm in, so I've made a change.
Have you ever gone through parts of your football career where you've been paying attention to all these things like nutrition and hydration and all that stuff as much as you are now?
In high school, I did a little bit because I noticed I cramped up a lot, but being a young kid, I didn't really understand it. So now I think understanding it, knowing when to drink and what I should be drinking, I've prevented a lot of that.
How do you think having that focus starting now in spring ball is going to help you when it comes to the real games in the fall?
I mean, it's just like learning an offense. You know your body, you understand your body. So as long as you're able to take care of it, you can have a healthy season.
Where do you think you guys are now compared to where you want to be for the season opener? I mean, obviously a big chunk of the team's not here, and you guys are still installing stuff with the new coaching staff. I mean, do you feel like you guys have made a lot of progress, or do you feel like there's a lot to go, or where do you kind of feel like you guys are right now?
We've for sure made a lot of progress, but there's still a long ways to go. You know, after this spring game on Saturday, we're not going to be on the field again as a team until August 1st. So that whole dead period is going to be focused a lot on just keeping up with the offense, making sure we're doing off-season training with Devon, and just staying on top of everything, doing the jug machines, the footwork, and all types of things like that. Probably going to try to do a lot of the same things I did last year just to stay on top of my game.
You guys have a plan for like the player-only practices?
Not right now. We're just focusing on spring ball, focusing on the next thing. So Saturday's our main focus, but afterwards I'm sure that we'll be doing a lot of player run practices.
You have a good sense for how much of this offense is installed and how much is still yet to come before the season opener?
I think we all do. I think we look really fluid out here. The tempo has definitely increased from the first practice, but like I said, we still have a lot of progress to make. But I think a lot of the players, including myself, have really grasped the offense.
How far do you think the passing game has come since the beginning of spring practice? And do you think there's a lot more installed? Do you think it's still just kind of a basic passing game that they've installed?
For the most part, it's nothing too crazy, but at the same time, I still do think that we have more steps to take. And I think that's just something that the coaches want us to do right now, just focus on getting, just the raw meat of it, and then we can add in little things here and there as we progress forward.
Is it a hard adjustment going into fall camp when you have 24 guys who aren't even here yet, who are going to be part of this team, and Chip Kelly's known for playing a lot of his freshmen? Is that a hard adjustment, having a big chunk of guys who are going to be key guys coming in and integrating?
I think it is, but at the same time, it's just an opportunity for them to adapt. That's kind of what Kyle was going through when he first got here. Unfortunately, he got injured, but he was going through that same process of learning how to just pick things up quick. And I think a lot of those kids are smart young kids, so they'll figure it out.
What did you see from Chase and from Kyle and the times that they were able to be with the team?
Just a lot of teachable moments. I see a lot of me in them, so little things that I notice that they do that maybe I've done, or I can try to help them correct, so that moving forward that they can learn from that, learn a lot from my mistakes. So I try to teach them or talk to them about little things that I can change, or that I changed that I wish I had done earlier, so that they can progress quicker.
How do you think this receiver group can make up for losing, let's say, like Darren Andrews, Jordan Lasley next season?
I think just bonding, really. Just getting to know one another on and off the field, being really personable with one another and getting close. I think that's what made our team good in the previous years, is that we were really tightly knit. So we were hold each other to a really high standard. We took coaching really well. So I think that's really what set us apart.
What kind of steps have you seen from Devon during spring?
He's made a lot of progress. I think, really everyone has, but for him, just like everyone else, I think once we're able to fully grasp the offense, that's when we'll be really fluid.
How much are we looking forward to this spring game on Saturday and getting out in front of some fans?
Really excited. Yeah, really excited. Last year, I didn't get too much playing time, but this year I think I'm going to get a little bit more play, so I'm excited for it.
Coach, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because you guys aren't going to be in front of your coaches for so long, is there not more pressure, but it's like, hey, I want to leave a lasting impression on these guys before we get away for a while?
On the coaches?
Yeah, just on everybody.
Yeah, but I think they hold us to a standard where they know that we're going to be on top of those kind of things. They're not going to really sit here and babysit, make sure we're doing all the stuff that we should be doing, or texting us, making sure we're on top of our plays. That's just more of a expected thing.
Coach, you said the format's kind of up in the air depending on depth. How much are you hoping that it's actual real game versus just kind of a practice type setting?
Ideally, I think you want a real game, but whatever coach has set up for us, that's what we're going to do. So.
You guys had Rick Neuheisel out here last Saturday.
Right.
What kind of things did you take from that, his message to you?
Really inspirational. He knows a lot about the program history, and it was cool just hearing some of the names that I didn't even really know about. But it's just a really smart guy that knows what he's talking about. So I really just wrote some things down and just try to engage myself. But he knows exactly what he's talking about. Really inspirational.
Do you kind of relate to him because he also started his UCLA career as a walk-on?
Right. Same thing with even Coach Moore. Yeah, I relate to a lot of the coaches in that way, and I think that just makes it easier for us to connect. And if they have that trust in me, I knew where you were, I knew how hard it was. I think that's just really cool to share a trait like that with your coach.
Have the coaches talked to you at all about a potential scholarship for the season?
They have, but as I mentioned before, I'm not really focusing on that. I'm just trying to focus on the spring game and school right now.
Feel like you might go into coaching someday?
I think that would be something that I would want to explore. I like the game a lot, and I definitely want to stay with the athletic, in that realm moving forward. So I think that's something that I would be willing to try out.
Great.